You wanna move?
Let's try.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, we continue with a new season of Emergency Teachings, Season 3, Episode 3. Our teaching today addresses Israel's release of the list of the top 7.93 billion known anti-Semites, endorsed by Elise Stefanik, Tom Cotton, Hillary Clinton, and, of course, Jerry Seinfeld. Israel was emboldened by the release of the top 10 nominees in 2025 for Anti-Semite of the Year by StopAntisemitism.org. Two caveats. The top 10 list of anti-Semites in 2025 is itself anti-Semitic. For the first time in a while, it does not include Arabs, and it's not because Arabs are Semites. The second caveat is that, just like anti-gay gay Republicans, the top 10 nominees for Anti-Semite of the Year does not include anti-Semites who are anti-Semitic, like our president and Mr. Musk.
Because I know they don't give a shit. And do you know how I know? Because they have people in their tent that do Sig Heils on stage at the inauguration, Elon Musk. They have people that wear Confederate flags, Camp Auschwitz t-shirts, boat parades with the Nazi flags on them. You've got right-wing podcasters hosting people that say, I think we should have sided with Hitler. I don't think it was that bad. They're rewriting history. So do not.
Be that as it may, join our illustrious panel of experts, the hosts of the podcast Three Arabs and, which will probably never be recorded, in addressing this important and timely topic. Sinan Antoun, our cultural landscape expert. I'm so sick of reading this. Adil Iskandar, our media landscape expert, and myself, Bassam Haddad, our social science expert. Welcome Adil and Sinan and myself to our regularly scheduled emergencies. Sinan, can you please shed some light on this topic?
Thank you, Bassam. In previous episodes, we horsed around and laughed a lot, but the reality out there is too excremental and demands a serious pause from us. You might be surprised by what I will reveal today, but you shouldn't. Do you know what is the most hateful, racist, and anti-Semitic publication in the entire world? No, it's not what you're thinking. It's neither an Arab newspaper nor an Iranian newspaper. It's none other than the fucking New York Times. Yes, my friends, do not act surprised. Just look at this headline we're going to show you. From December 9th, 1883. And it says, quote, Jewish colonization of Palestine. Colonization. The New York Times obviously planted the seeds of hatred and did all the spade work for the radical global infritata. Even before infritata was a thing, it provided them with the paradigm and vocabulary. That is aiding and abetting, calling the rightful return to the land God promised in his social media posts, calling it colonization. If this isn't anti-Semitic, I don't know what is. I demand that the New York Times issue an apology, change the headline retroactively so as not to pollute the minds of young researchers, and it should come clean about where it stands. It should condemn itself. Does the New York Times support Israel's right to kill as many Palestinians as it feels like? And was the New York Times infiltrated by Hamas and Islamic Jihad as early as the 19th century? We want answers, and we want them now.
Thank you, Sinan. Adil, were you typing your segment when Sinan was talking?
Is that a question I have to answer? I plead the fifth.
تفضل.
Bassam, Bassam, I'm so sorry to say this, but you have to give me the time to cover this. As experts, we pride ourselves on accuracy, meticulousness, and being comprehensive. How else can we be expected to rank all 7.93 billion anti-Semites in the world? I want to forewarn you, Bassem, that interrupting me in and of itself is anti-Semitic. All right, let me begin. Don't let anyone fool you. Cosmetics are not just about color palettes and looking pretty. What we've learned about the anti-Semitism of this industry would make you blush. Yeah, the very foundation of aesthetics is anti-Israeli and anti-Semitic. Not only is foundation designed to cover up blemishes, it is a ploy to hide and conceal the truth. Etymologically, the word foundation means the base, not like any other word than al-Qaeda. Yeah, same word, same meaning, synonymous. And if you pay even closer attention to language, you'd be flabbergasted by the depths of depravity. Look at this abomination that is innocently posing as Huda beauty. Have you stopped to consider what Huda means? In the Semitic yet anti-Semitic language, aka self-hating language of Arabic, Huda means guidance to the right path or showing the way. It should be obvious what that path and what that way means. It is referring to the road to abject Israel hatred. These aren't just broad brushstrokes. Before you put on your maskhara, check your toner. And let me add as well that all celebrities are anti-Semitic. Some are out, others are sleeper cells. The Jon Stewarts of this world have been at it for longer than we've known or can remember. So those come as no surprise. But prepare yourself to be astounded by some of those who are on the list now. The Weeknd is anti-Semitic because every single day of the weekend and the week and twice on Sundays, don't be fooled by his so-called blinding lights, and don't save your tears for this horror show of a singer who has the audacity to donate $2 million to provide humanitarian aid in the form of food for children in Gaza. This is absolutely inexcusable. Or that creature known as Bruno Mars. He should be locked out of heaven for daring to cancel a concert in Israel, in and of itself, the heaven, for reasons that cannot be described as anything other than 24-karat bullshit in the air. Excuse me. I say boycott this uptown fuck. Sorry to break this to the millions and millions of Swifties, but your beloved Taylor is also a closeted anti-Semitic icon. Her anti-Israel behavior is something that is now in plain sight. She cannot shake it off. She was seen attending a Gaza charity event with none other than her sidekick and fellow anti-Semite Selena Gomez. The show featured performances by such known anti-Semites as Rami Youssef. And what? In the benefit of Gaza. And just when you think this phenomenon hasn't gone global, look no further than K-pop heartthrobs BTS. Today, I'd like to reveal that this band is literally a dancing terrorist organization. Their name alone is an attempt to hide their BDS, boycott, divestment, and sanctions motives. But nothing is clearer than their music itself. Their biggest hit is called Dynamite. It is a hit, literally. I need to process this. And then finally, in this particular segment, I want to share with you that ice cream is also anti-Semitic. Look at these two anti-Semitic Semites, Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield. What have they done to our beloved ice cream? Not only did they take the anti-Semitic fruit of watermelon, turn it into an ice cream, but also try to package it and sell it to be able to fundraise for children in Gaza. Oh my goodness, seriously. We now all scream for ice cream. Save ice cream from these anti-Semites. And finally, prepare to be astounded. The Young Turks are also anti-Semitic. The Ottoman Reform Movement that stands for Hurriyat, Musawat, Ikhwat, and Adalat. Wait a minute, that's the wrong Young Turks. 1 second. No, the Young Turks, the show that has been running, the second longest running show online, is full of anti-Semitic rhetoric. But let's not stop there. Every Young Turk is anti-Semitic. Brace yourself. It doesn't matter what they call it, Turkey or Turkiye, anti-Semitic to the core. Bassem, let us know your insights on this.
Look, Racism against Jews is as real as racism against Arabs, Muslims, blacks, Mexicans, and any other group that finds itself at the bottom of the cultural barrel in the land of the free. But shouldn't the winner of the top anti-Semite of the year, almost every year for the past 8 decades or so, be Israel? Given how it purports to represent all Jews while doing a genocide online, Jews are among the most vociferous anti-Israel voices on earth, yet Israel implicates all of them in its slaughter of humans. And that's not nice. Also, anti-Semitism is defined as the hostility toward or discrimination against Jews as a religious or racial group. Never mind that the Oxford Dictionary also, and reality, define Semites as, and I quote, people speaking Semitic languages like Hebrew, Arabic, Amharic, and traditionally descendant of the biblical Noah's son, Shem, encompassing groups like Arabs. Hello is parasitic on this definition. That's my hello. Arabs, Hebrews, and Assyrians. Still, in all cases, supporters of the genocidal state of Israel found this definition lacking. It's missing anyone who does not like Israel's killing of 20,000 children and counting, like Miss Rachel. I cannot argue with that. She is clearly a horrendous person for singling out Israel, per the IHRA definition.
The bunny's sleeping till it's nearly noon. Shall we wake them with a merry tune? They're so still. Are they ill? Wake up soon. Let's pretend to sleep.
Actually, the only thing you can single out Israel for and not be called anti-Semitic is to single out Israel as the only state or thing in the world that you cannot criticize. Say what you will about God, Allah, Jesus, Moses, and Muhammad, even Karl Marx, but not Israel. By 2023, like Israel, the definition of anti-Semitism continued to expand, so much so it's going to explode, like Mr. Chris Criosot from Monty Python.
Or would he prefer to order straight away? Today we have for appetizers, excuse me.
Sinan, any additional views on this topic given that it's continuously expanding?
Thank you, Bassam. There is a crisis in pedagogy and socialization in the United States and many other countries, especially in the Western world. And we, as educators, have to step up and sound the alarm while there's time. The alarming and abhorrent development is that so many young people are feeling anger, sadness after watching clips from a genocide. And sometimes they have even the urge to speak up and question politicians and protest. This is unacceptable. Several humanists, people who should have gotten the Nobel Prize, have already articulated an important critique. Sarah lost her wits. Obama's former speechwriter recently made the rounds to voice her horror at this, as did Hillary Ramadan Clinton. What is wrong with kids these days? And I am going to address you, young people, on behalf of Hillary Ramadan and others. Why are you so fragile? You watch children being slaughtered and entire cities erased from existence by Israeli soldiers, laughing as they do that, and you lose your marbles and say the G word? The greatest threat to a decent education, in my opinion, is empathy. If you want our kids to be normal, genocide-supporting Homo sapiens, you should protect them and shield them from this empathy business. Have you even looked into the genealogy or etymology of the word empathy to know its dirty history? Edward Titchener introduced the term empathy in 1909 into the English language. It didn't exist before. And it was the translation of the German term Einfühlung, or feeling into. It's a fucking German word, so empathy is anti-Semitic. More importantly, the term itself, in German psychological aesthetics, described how spectators projected their own feelings and movements into objects of art and nature, not other humans. But then it was corrupted when social scientists and clinical psychologists in later decades refashioned empathy to require the deliberate putting aside of one's feelings to more accurately understand another's. And that got us to the abyss we inhabit now. I condemn empathy, and so should you. Adil, do you have anything to add?
Sinan, I have too much to add. Exactly. Anyone who uses the words Iran and Iranians to describe Persia and Persians, we see you. We see the anti-Semitism seeping through. Correct your path, correct your road, fix your language. Secondly, you talked about the media, Sinan. The Onion. The Onion is not satire. The Onion is real news, and it is posing and faking being a parody. It is the most anti-Semitic platform online today. It needs to be addressed, it needs to be targeted, and it needs to be shut down. Also, Bassem accused the Stop Anti-Semitism campaign for being anti-Semitic. I want to clarify some of those points again. They are anti-Semitic for trying to reductively single out a few hundred people versus the entire world. This is unacceptable. Their top three, Tucker Carlson, Bryce Mitchell, and Stu Peters, just started bashing Israel 2 weeks ago. What about the people who have been plying their trade for decades since the Nakba 77 years ago? Where are they? Why aren't they on the list? And the list is also not current. The list is not current, and they do not respond to updates or breaking news. How can it not include Ahmed al-Ahmed, the Muslim guy who saved so many people in Bondi Beach during the Hanukkah attack in Sydney, for not saving enough people? This is unacceptable. Blatant anti-Semitism. And let me also add that the American Jewish Committee is failing and also proving its anti-Semitic colors by demonstrating that they are incapable of driving home the message that Zionism is racism and that settler colonialism is anti-Semitism. The usage of those two terms in juxtaposition is automatic anti-Semitism. They are not trying hard enough. It's an utter failure. And let me not stop there. Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, for producing a phone that can be used to circulate anti-Semitic content is proof that technology itself is anti-Semitic. And finally, I just want to stop here. I'm going to show a photo. This person is individual number 7.93,822,563,081. This individual is a newborn. Lest we forget, every newborn in this world is a new member of the world's anti-Semitic population. And for that reason, we cannot stop ranking. Rank until the very last moment. Thank you. Bassem, give us your insight on this very critical and urgent matter.
Absolutely. Adil, Allah la يوفقك. Can you stop leaning left? All right.
I'm left leaning.
In real life, anti-Semites are actually free and welcomed by Israel so long as they display allegiance to the genocidal state. They are even defended by the same people who are on a witch hunt against any critics of Israel's genocide. Here's the great head of the ADL doing just that in reference to the quintessential anti-Semitic gesture. On the other hand, you are all anti-Semites because you posted an image of one of the 20,000 children Israel killed in Gaza. Do we need to say more? You are making the job of Sarah Hurwitz and Barry Weiss so difficult. Because every time they want to justify Israel's genocide, they are faced with this wall of carnage.
And this is why so many of us can't have a sane conversation with younger Jews, because anything that we try to say to them, they are hearing it through this wall of carnage. So I want to give data and information and facts and arguments, and they are just seeing in their minds carnage, and I sound obscene.
Merci, Gaston.
I haven't finished.
Oh, pardon, Gaston. 1,000 pardons, monsieur. Now, this afternoon we have Monsieur...
And You said from the river to the sea. Anyone who says this is clearly calling for genocide. Instead of your culture of death, why not learn from the Israelis and their supporters? As such,
The Jewish world has never told the rest of the world that the indigenous people of the land of so-called Palestine are the Jews, that the Jews are the only people who have any entitlement to any of this land, an entitlement based in law, in history and morality, and they are the only people who have an entitlement to all of it. The Jewish world has never said that.
this incontrovertibly,
You can do it. You can do it.
thank you guys. This is incontrovertibly reasonable, especially if you consider the fact that there's no one else on that land of so-called Palestine as such.
This is the big lie that we are all up against. But the Jewish world has never identified this big lie as such and has never fought it. It has never told the world the truth. There is no such thing as Palestine. There is no such thing as the Palestinian people.
Sinan, any final words on Israel's list of 7.93 billion known anti-Semites?
Yes. Look, we have to use common sense and admit that there isn't enough space in history for everyone, or even on this planet. History is like a boat. If it has too much cargo, it sinks and everyone drowns, and there is no history. And we don't want that. Kids these days don't have the space nor the attention span to learn about yet another genocide. We already have a few they can learn about. Do presentations, or rather ask AI to do that, and feel guilty for a few seconds before moving on. Why add more to their plates? It's so cruel and triggering, unnecessary. If they see images of the genocide in Gaza, it will only remind them of the 1 or 2 genocides they had to learn about in school. And it's all Al's fault. So Al, if you are watching this, do something about it and save our kids. I don't have any kids. Save other people's kids. And who is Al? You know, it started with Al-Qaeda, but this is a different Al. Algorithm. The vile anti-Semitic person pushing the buttons, showing what Van Joes rightly complained about all the time.
If you are a young person, you open up your phone and all you see is dead Gaza baby, dead Gaza baby, dead Gaza baby. Right. Diddy, dead Gaza baby, dead Gaza baby.
Dead Gaza baby, dead Gaza baby, dead Gaza baby. Enough already. Let's move on.
Bassem, I defer my segment to you. Please, take us home. Deliver us.
You don't have a top 10?
No, what top 10? Am I on the right show? Is this 2 Arabs and?
According to Israel, anti-Semitism is associated with anyone, any action, or anything that touches Israel in any way. Here's my top 346 anti-Semites or anti-Semitic things. First, it's anti-Semitic to oppose apartheid. Second, it's anti-Semitic to oppose killing children. It is also anti-Semitic to oppose raping detainees. It is anti-Semitic to oppose ethnic cleansing. Most importantly, it is anti-Semitic to oppose genocide. It is definitely anti-Semitic to have this at your home. Helping amputees is anti-Semitic. Pope Francis and Miss Rachel are clearly anti-Semitic. Social media is anti-Semitic. Schools are anti-Semitic. Cameras are anti-Semitic. Hospitals are anti-Semitic, especially if they're in Gaza. The UN is anti-Semitic. The ICC and ICJ are anti-Semitic. All human rights organizations, including Israeli ones, are anti-Semitic. Doctors are anti-Semitic. Journalists are anti-Semitic. Aid workers are obviously anti-Semitic. Why? Why would you help amputated children if it was Israel that bombed them? Huh? And of course, ambulances are anti-Semitic. Bakeries are anti-Semitic. خلاص. بعد في شيء؟ Adil, do you have any last words, or Sinan?
Bassam, I want to say we cannot stop at Earth, the planet Earth. This is an intergalactic problem. It is a cosmic issue. Anti-Semitism goes to the ends of the earth and begins at the Big Bang. So let us stop assuming that anything or anyone is innocent. Thank you.
I want to say that anti-Semitism itself is anti-Semitic. And I was really hurt watching the World Cup qualifying matches when I saw 3 Italian players score goals against Israel and deprive the Israeli people in these difficult moments of the joy of watching their national team play in the World Cup. And that, as far as I'm concerned, is anti-Semitic. So the Italian players who scored those goals are also anti-Semitic.
My last word is I have a confession, folks. And I know it's going to get me in trouble. But I don't care, because saying the truth is more important than worrying about what the political landscape looks like and how unfair and indeed racist it is to call people out as anti-Semites simply because they're opposing the slaughter of a people. So I'm going to say it. And I know my colleagues, my friends, and certainly the public will find it a bit of a gray area confession. Here it goes. I actually slept in the t-shirt I'm wearing now. Yeah. I'm sorry, Adil.
Okay, guys, I think I have to leave now because this is unacceptable.
You just want to go and catch the Real Madrid, يلعن رب.
You wanna move?
Let's try.
Adil, are you ready? Do you need a minute?
I'm typing my segment. Obviously, please, let's go ahead.
إذا بدك بعد وجهك ببين أحلى. عادل بليز علي راسك مثل سنان.
علي راسك
طيب. How many segments do you have, Sinan?
3.
Okay, وعادل.
3 Palestine.
Per the Jesus Christ. Just stay in the middle. You can see it, right? You can see yourself. ولا لا?
لا.
I can see myself.
If you can't see yourself, عادل.
لا شايفه.
طيب,
okay. I don't see race.
I don't see toothpaste. Adil, you look like you're reading and working. You have to be paying attention.
Be a good boy.
Good afternoon, everyone. Oh my God. What happened هلا؟
يعني ما بسخنا بقى وعملنا.
بيبي
اركن مش
عادل.
الله لا يوفقكم. Ask عادل to speak يلعن ربكم.
You know I'm out. خلاص.
عادل, are you writing your last segment? يلا.
By the way, Adil called me synonymous.
قلت لك let's not bring Egyptians into
synonymous. يلا, we don't have time. يلا, move it.
Real Madrid is playing soon, and Sinan is gonna get really
crucial. Yeah.
According according
خلي الزلمه يحكي.
علي راسك سنان، علي راسك
علي راسك بليون.
يلا. According to Israel,
we got infiltrated.
Okay, guys, I think I have to leave now because this is unacceptable.
you just want to go and catch the Real Madrid يلعن ربك.
عادل شفت الفيديو بتاع احمد السقا about محمد صلاح؟
لا ما شفتوش، انا بسمع عنه بس هو قال ايه ولا عمل ايه؟ انا شايف الناس بتفشخ.
انا ما شفتوش. I wanna see. عادل كل سيجمنت تبع بقول فاينالي 5 مرات.
and finally I mean not finally ده سنان لما كنا بنتكلم على حماس جاب لك ايرثلينجز وحيوانات بره احنا رحنا اصلا الجالكسي الثانيه.
لا انا once انت هتاكل ضرب على خلونج دي. What do you expect from a club that is supported royally?
انت كمان على فكره عيب عليك تقول هالاشياء.
عيب عليك انت.
لانه I can send you stuff about how.
Look, we're 7 points ahead of you, and you know I don't know.
شو يعني supported royally؟ شنو supported royally؟
Just the white, also the white. Like this is like supremacy.
Like you know what I tell you? What
you are going against everything you teach.
جهلة يلا في الله شباب.
Wait a minute.
Oh, Henry.
Wait just a minute. Mr. Postman, is there a letter for me? Letter for me. Mr. Postman. يلا guys يلا إن شاء الله شوفكم بالسجن.
Sinan and
Guantanamo is not that bad. We'll be together.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, you know, if I'm wearing orange and I cannot watch Holland play, and it makes me depressed.
What's their meal program like? عندهم إيه على المنيو؟
They don't have room service, but they have open buffet.
يلا bonsoir.
في أمان الله.
Oh, wait a minute. I never said bonsoir. Shit.
خلاص احنا مش هنطلع تاني.
A new bucket for monsieur.